Medical professionals had ultimately succumbed to the inevitable truth that they were unable to assist two young dogs and had come to the decision to terminate their suffering. Nevertheless, the actions of these two pups just before their scheduled mercy killing were observed by the in-house veterinarian, leading to an unanticipated turn of events. Dr. Emily Harding arrived at the Hop Animal Shelter on a fresh Monday morning, following a rewarding and much-needed weekend off. Surprisingly, the tranquility of the dawn did little to lift her mood as she prepared for the demanding tasks of the day. On that day, she was to face the most challenging aspect of her vocation. As she made her way to her office, she regretfully mused that this responsibility should not exist in her line of work. Settling into her workspace, Emily took a calming deep breath. Her heart was heavy with sorrow when she thought about the difficult task at hand. The guidelines of the shelter were unambiguous. Animals failing to show positive responses to treatment and who were in immense pain were to be euthanized to curb further suffering and to prevent any risk of spreading diseases to the rest of the healthy animal populace. It was a necessary evil, one that shattered her heart each time. During Emily's tenure at the shelter, euthanizing animals had been an infrequent event. Together with her team members, she strived to see every animal as deserving of life, despite the severity of their ailments. They endeavored to exhaust every possible measure to ensure the survival of each animal until euthanasia became a dire necessity. However, some cases were excessively complicated, rendering euthanasia the only humane exit, despite their relentless efforts. Now Emily felt an overwhelming sense of defeat, feeling powerless to safeguard these endearing creatures as she had vowed to do when she assumed the role of a veterinarian. She was on the verge of euthanizing two appealing puppies as their ailments were not responding favorably to treatment and they were failing to improve from medical aid. Mercy killing appeared to be the single solution to alleviate them from their pain. Little did Emily know that on that specific day, the dogs slated for euthanasia would provoke her emotions in an unforeseen way, leading to an absolutely surprising conclusion. As Emily reached out to the shelf above her workspace, she pulled out the list of animals marked for euthanasia that day. As her gaze skimmed through the list, her heart quivered when she read the names of the two puppies, Sam and Max. The idea of euthanizing them filled her with empathy and tenderheartedness. As she reclined in her office chair, her mind drifted to contemplate the path these two young pups had trodden before entering into the shelter's care. The tale of Sam and Max struck a chord with everyone. These two little souls were discovered wandering amidst the commotion of Ho Chi Minh's city streets, lost and vulnerable amidst a world too vast and perilous for them. Every moment since their arrival at the rescue center, they were inseparable, continuously seeking solace in each other for warmth and reassurance. Their profound emotional connection moved every member of the shelter staff. Regardless of the harsh circumstances they encountered, Sam and Max drew comfort from each other's presence. Tragically, despite extensive medical attention, their health quickly took a turn for the worst. No therapeutic method or intervention brought about the anticipated improvement. The shelter's veterinarians, which included Emily, exhausted every feasible option, but their condition seemed beyond hope. Revisiting the list, Emily felt heaviness in her chest. She knew what had to be done. They needed to be put to sleep. Yet wrestling with the thought of euthanizing these two adorable puppies was nearly insurmountable. Interestingly, the narrative of Sam and Max began when generous Buddhist nuns near the pagoda found them. The nuns couldn't endure seeing the puppies enduring hardships on the streets, scavenging for food, and braving the cruel weather. Observing the life-threatening risks these two pups were taking on fast-paced streets while being so unwell was too agonizing for them. Motivated by empathy and praying for a miraculous turn of events, the nuns coaxed the puppies with food and led them to the Hobbs shelter. The larger of the two puppies, Sam, was frequently seen protecting his smaller companion, Max, by placing his paw over him. This heartfelt gesture was indicative of their shared traumas and struggles. Despite all odds, they continued to remain by each other's side, now within the safe confines of the animal shelter. Their connection stirred emotions, and their story gained traction within the shelter. But what no one expected was that there was more to their relationship than what met the eye, as they nestled into each other in comfort. Collecting her thoughts, Emily knew she had to carry out what was necessary, no matter its daunting implications. With a sinking feeling in her heart, she proceeded towards the enclosure housing Sam and Max. However, she was unprepared for the surprising discovery that lay ahead. As she neared their enclosure, she caught sight of them entwined together. But what shattered her heart was the sight of Sam and Max lying peacefully with their eyes shut, seemingly accepting their fate with calm surrender. Emily wondered if the little puppies had felt what was coming and had already accepted it. An emotional swirl began to well up in her. Eyes filled with tears, she kneeled on the floor next to them. She gently ran her fingers through their soft fur as she prepared to lead them to the room where they would soon be laid to rest. Yet something in those final moments was strikingly different. Was it their extraordinary connection to each other, or were her emotions playing a harsh game with her mind? Sam, as though sensing Emily nearby, gradually raised his head, locking eyes with hers. The fleeting moment was filled with a spark of resolve, a faint light of optimism that touched Emily profoundly. Upon sensing Sam's activity, Max moved slightly, snuggling closer to his brother, reluctant to part ways. Emily's heart overflowed as she witnessed this touching scene unfold before her eyes. Suddenly, a surprising fact was disclosed that would alter everything. Emily noticed that Max's usually strained and limited breaths, a key indicator of his deteriorating health, became regular once he was next to Sam. This startling discovery momentarily confused Emily. Intrigued, she carefully distanced the puppies to study their behavior. Then something completely unanticipated occurred. Almost instantly after she had gently separated them, Max's pleas started echoing in the room, and his breath became challenging, as was usual. Observing out loud, Emily voiced her confusion regarding why Max breathed normally while close to Sam. When she nestled him back against his brother, she was in awe, witnessing his breathing normalize again. Could Sam's closeness have healing effects on Max? It seemed illogical, something divorcing from her experiences throughout her veterinary practice. Wanting to comprehend this phenomenon, she planned to conduct comprehensive evaluations. Watching their essential habits, Emily paid careful attention to the minute details. She recorded her observations, took their respiratory rates, and evaluated their stress levels. Her mind raced with multiple thoughts. Could Max's regular breaths, while close to Sam, be due to the calming effect Sam had on him? Or was there a profound bond that surpassed their comprehension? She agreed she needed more information before deciding on the puppy's future. The rules at the rescue home were plain, yet an unforeseen incident gave her a sliver of optimism that maybe there was a different way. She wouldn't permit these two puppies to be euthanized without considering every plausible recourse. Their connection was extraordinary, and it might be the solution to their survival. Emily, along with the rest of the personnel, kept a close watch on Sam and Max in the succeeding days, and they were amazed at the findings indicating that Sam's presence seemingly had a soothing influence on Max, as though he was offering him a type of emotional comfort that transcended a standard companionship. The more they observed, the more extraordinary this connection appeared to be. This prompted Emily to probe more into her research. She uncovered papers on how emotional ties can greatly influence the physical well-being of animals, akin to humans. Equipped with this fresh knowledge, she realized that the two puppies, when originally delivered to the rescue, were fatigued and ailing, and were unwilling to be apart from each other. Yet as the rescue started to cater to them, Sam and Max were separated. Understanding this, Emily suggested an unconventional treatment scheme, not only for Sam and Max, but for the entire rescue team. The scheme encompassed keeping Sam and Max together and providing them with specialized medical attention that involved not just physical remedy, but also emotional and mental aid. Initially, the rescue administrations had reservations about this procedure. However, after witnessing the astonishing bond between the two puppies, they agreed to experiment with this new method with a hopeful mindset. Weeks passed, and the results were extraordinary. Max's health began to noticeably recover. Everyone was emotionally moved as Sam regained vitality and began to frolic. The connection between the two puppies seemed to be the secret to their wellness. Emily relayed their story on her social media, recording their progress through posts about their unbelievable bond. She was delighted she had granted them a fresh start. Sam and Max's tale started to gain popularity, garnering the notice of canine enthusiasts globally. People were deeply moved by the endearing relationship between the puppies and their amazing tenacity. The most poignant part was when monetary contributions began pouring in from animal lovers, moved by Sam and Max's story. These donations enabled the rescue to persist in taking care of not only Sam and Max, but also other animals in their care. The tale of Sam and Max made Emily swell with gratitude and proudly witness how their story generated a wave of compassion that went on to help many other animals. These were two puppies whose lives were under threat of being terminated, yet they ended up being a beacon of inspiration for kindness and empathy for other beings. Emily had yet more surprises waiting for her just around the corner. Now that the pups were out of danger, she dearly hoped they would find a home where they would be adopted together, allowing them to enjoy the companionship of each other for the rest of their lives, something they had earned after enduring so much hardship while preserving their affection towards each other. When potential adopters came visiting, they generally selected just one dog, but Samantha and Maximilian were a different case altogether. They were joined at the hip, and breaking them apart could profoundly affect them, possibly leading to depression, which would adversely affect their behavior and social interactions. Emily was hoping their story, which was growing more widespread on social media, would catch the attention of someone wishing to adopt both of them. That's when something astonishing took place. One evening after a long and tiring day at the shelter, Emily picked up a call from a local television station interested in featuring a segment on Sam and Max. Enthusiastically accepting their proposal, she anticipated their story would inspire more people to look deeper and recognize every creature's potential for love and life. Emily couldn't anticipate what transpired next. When the segment went on air, viewers were moved by the resilient pup's tale. In that segment, Emily was asked about what she thought had ensured the puppy's survival. Gazing at the now happy and playful Sam and Max, she responded, "I think they rescued each other. Often it just takes a little bit of love, one more opportunity, and plenty of hope." After the segment was broadcast, something memorable happened. People from all around the world attempted to get in touch with Emily and the resilient pups. Surprisingly, a few viewers came forward, expressing their wish to adopt the duo. However, geographical barriers posed a problem as the interested ones lived in disparate parts of the world. Nonetheless, the TV segment succeeded in encouraging financial contributions, resulting in a significant increase in the shelter's adoption rate. Many pets found their permanent homes, inspired by the moving story of Sam and Max's strong bond. When it seemed like it would be an impossible task to find a home willing to adopt Sam and Max together, something unpredictable occurred. Several weeks following, a rural family happened upon the shelter. They instantly identified Emily through her regular updates and delightfully engaged with her, sharing how they came across the touching stories of Sam and Max on the media and felt a strong bond with the pups. Emily, accompanied by her colleagues, was ecstatic and welcomed the family with open arms, guiding them right to the enclosure where the puppies were housed. Sam and Max, now in great health, engaged spiritedly with the family, furiously wagging their tails, hopping about, and making playful sounds. This lively interaction further endeared the puppies to the family. After a thorough vetting process, the family received approval to adopt the pups and take them home. Nevertheless, it was a poignant moment for Emily and her colleagues as they bid farewell to the puppies, who set off with their new family, looking more cheerful than ever. Emily knew their absence would be felt, but witnessing them find a nurturing home where they could remain together brought warmth to her heart. As the puppies had gained significant popularity on various digital platforms, Emily was pleased to find that their new owners had even set up a dedicated page for them, drawing considerable online interest. She went through some of the updates and found herself moved to tears, seeing how content the puppies were in their new environment and how enthusiastically they interacted with their new family. It brought back memories of the time Emily had considered euthanizing Sam and Max. But everything took a different turn when she witnessed something extraordinary: the deep-rooted bond between the two pups. United, they could offer each other emotional comfort and mental support, deserving a renewed shot at life. Emily was pleased to have played a role in their journey and overjoyed to have granted them another chance at life. Not only were Sam and Max special, but they also imparted valuable lessons to her about the potency of empathy and emotions and overall well-being. What's been your most unforgettable pet-related experience that made you a firm believer in second chances? Do share your stories in the comments below. See you next time with another touching story.